Some things that beginners need to be aware of when they are posting online in various forums and groups, Facebook groups, etc. Something I see happening all the time. One is how quick a lot of beginners to photography are arguing with the people with more experience. When you ask for help, don't bite off the hand that's feeding you. Some of us have been around for a long time. We've been through it all, from our own mistakes, failure of gear, incorrect settings, troubleshooting, things like that. So when you ask for help, you may not be getting the advice you want to hear, but it is all designed to help you. There is absolutely no point in trying to make yourself something you're not. You are a beginner, you're asking for help, someone with more experience is trying to help you, they're guiding you, they're giving you advice. Some of the advice may be, don't think about getting another camera. You're just not good enough yet. It has nothing to do with the gear you're using. You need to improve on your own skill set. Practice. As mundane as that sounds, and it may come across as being insulting, but it's not. It's designed to help you. So that's one. Okay, number two. Don't be so quick to think that the reason your photos aren't that good right now or that you're not happy is because of the camera. That 99% of the time, that is not the case. Here's the thing. If you're going out there and you're comparing yourself with a lot of other photographers that have years and years of experience, yeah, you're going to feel inferior. Everyone's gone through that. I used to go through that until I realized, you know what, I'm not them. I haven't been doing this as long as these people have. I have a lot to still learn. So what did I do? I started practicing, working on my own craft, working on my own skill set, improving my technique. Once I outgrew the capabilities of the actual camera, then I decided I should upgrade. Before that, it was about the lenses. Upgrading the lenses to get better quality images. The camera can only see through the lens that's mounted to the camera. So if you're not happy, first things first, work on your technique. Only once you've outgrown the capability of the camera, and when I say that, I mean go through every single feature, use every single setting, manual, shutter speed, aperture, exposure compensation, learn flash techniques, buy a flash, work on your lighting, which obviously I did here in my own video because at the beginning it wasn't very good. But anyway, got my batteries charged up now, so should be good to go. So anyway, in regards to, work on your autofocus, your exposure metering settings. There's a lot of settings. There's no such thing as a bad camera anymore. There just isn't. So with that being said, don't be so quick to get the next big thing. The problem that a lot of people don't realize is that when you do that, it becomes a more exacting camera. It becomes a more exacting tool within your arsenal. So when you do make a mistake and your technique is not perfect, it's going to show up even more in a more advanced camera body because it's a more exacting tool and they expect perfection. That's just the way it goes. So you go from say a Canon T6 and then you're like, you know what, yeah, I want to get a Canon 6D, right? 6D Mark II, that's what I'm going to get. It's not always the best decision because when you do make a mistake, the camera's just going to exaggerate how bad that mistake is. There is no wiggle room. It's a fairly unpopular opinion, but I've gone through it. I know. So let's get on to number 3. Okay, this is a tough one. Alright, so number 3, here we go. For the love of all things precious, do not type your question or your responses, especially your responses, in all capital letters. Online, there's a certain etiquette when you're conversing with other people in groups and forums and chats and things like that. When you type in all caps, it's the same thing. It's the equivalent of you being face to face with somebody and you're yelling and screaming at them. It just comes off extremely rude. So think about that when you receive a response from somebody and it seems very curt and to the point. And it does come off as being rude, or people are on the defensive side when they're responding to you. Look at how you actually phrased your question and look at how you typed your question out. If it's all in caps, I'm telling you right now, someone's gonna get mad. That's how it comes off. Nobody likes to be spoken to that way, and the same thing is with the etiquette online. Let's move on. Okay, number 4. Oh boy, okay, I see this a lot. I'm new to photography. I want to learn. So, what camera's better, Nikon or Canon? Or what should I buy, Nikon or Canon or Sony? Okay, that's not really a question. Yeah, that question right there actually made me stutter. Anyways, okay, so moving on. Basically, you need to formulate the question as an actual serious question. I'm new to photography. My budget is $600. I'm tossed up between Nikon, Canon, Sony. I'm not sure what I should buy. Can someone explain what the benefits are for each one? Something like that. Put us in a position where we understand exactly where it is that you're coming from, so that we can help you make a decision. The issue also is on the other end of it. Once you explain your budget, you may not even be able to afford the camera that you're thinking of getting. You just may not be able to. And at the same time, the best thing to do is go to a camera store if one's available, an actual brick and mortar store that you open the door and you walk in. I know it's rare, but they do still exist somewhere in some places. Go in and actually hold the cameras. Try them out. You can go to Best Buy. You can go to various camera stores. It depends on where in the world you live. But there are places where you can actually go and hold the camera. Not every camera. Okay, here's the thing. What one person may suggest that works for them may not be the camera that actually works for you. You may not like the way the buttons are located. You may not like the way the grip feels when you're holding the camera in your hand. You may not be able to understand the way the menu actually works. There's all these different things that will actually play a big part when you start taking your photos. Each camera fits different people differently. So you need to figure out and try out individual cameras and see what works for you, what feels right for you. In regards to the loaded questions of, right now I have a T6. I shoot, I'm new to photography, I shoot everything. What should I buy now? Like, you need to actually give people direction when you're asking these kinds of questions, or you're going to get answers that are really completely irrelevant, for one. Don't apply to you, 2, because you're just going to get suggestions of what other people use. And 3, it's not even an answerable question at the end of the day. So you need to really sit back, take a breath, sip some coffee or a beer or some wine, whatever you're doing, and formulate the question that can actually give a direct answer. Moving on to the last one. Alright, 5th and final one. When you receive a response after a question is posed, please read the actual answer instead of repeating your question again. A lot of times it has to do with camera settings. I'm trying to shoot this, blah, blah, blah. I'm at ISO 6400. I'm at shutter speed of 1/2000th of a second. And it's in low light. And I'm at f4 and my camera says it's too dark. Okay, one, you can lower that shutter speed way down. Which will also lower the ISO that you're shooting at. Suggestions of changing some of the camera settings to leave some of it in auto shoot and shutter priority mode instead of whatever else you're shooting in. And once all that advice is given, you fire back with a picture of the back of your camera with the settings that you already stated you were using where the camera said it was too dark. To someone who's trying to help you, that just clearly shows that you're just not listening. You're not paying attention. The help is not actually appreciated. That's how it ends up on our end. When we're actually putting a foot forward, we're taking the time out of our busy day to actually provide you with some guidance on things that you can do. And it's just not, it's getting to here and then it's just not doing its thing. So when you do receive a response from somebody with more experience who is trying to help you, please pay attention and actually read the answer. Read the suggestion. Apply the suggestion. If you don't understand it, ask for more clarification. Don't just repeat the same question you already asked with proof that you're not lying about the problem that you're having. We believe you, or you wouldn't be posting that problem in a group forum for everybody to see. And I guess 6 bonus one. Here we go. A lot of people are going to be mad about this. If you don't have a whole lot of experience, please do not give bad advice to someone else who doesn't have a lot of experience. I'll give you an example. I was at a concert and, I had my camera there and I just wanted to shoot, some of the things, whatever, and it was really low light and everything's grainy and blah, blah, blah. And I've seen answers like, oh, well, it's grainy because you need to lower your ISO. Okay, that's terrible advice. It's low light. You have to raise your ISO. What lens are they using? Oh, well, apparently they're using a kit lens, but nobody actually took the time to ask what kind of lens that they're actually using. What camera body is it? Oh, it's a T3. Well, it's not exactly the greatest camera for that specific situation. There's other situations where you could get away with using flash. Not in the concert, but there are situations where you could get away with using a flash in low light. And a lot of people without the experience don't suggest using a flash. Period. They always focus on, oh, well, lower your ISO because that's what you find on channels like YouTube and whatever other people suggest. Keep the ISO as low as you can possibly go and shoot just so that it's barely shake proof and that's as far as you go and blah, 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 But at the end of the day, depending on the situation, that could actually be the worst advice you can possibly give somebody. Again, it comes back to technique, practice, learning. Learn the camera, walk around your house, simulate the low light situation, and just practice, shoot. It may seem boring, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to the wire, that is what's going to actually help you, is to actually practice. When you first started in school, you didn't know how to write a letter. You didn't know how to do that. You had to be taught. You practiced. This is absolutely no different. And that's all I'm going to say for today. Just wanted to throw this out there. I hope it helps you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Or, there are those people that just kind of randomly go through YouTube and just hit dislike, 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 thumbs down, thumbs down. Hey, if you're one of them people, hey, whatever, man. It's a free world. And, you guys will see me on my next video. Peace!